Students for Life of America. We're the nation's largest pro-life youth organization, and we're organized on over 838 campuses across the country. Today we applaud the Supreme Court for upholding our basic religious freedoms and rights to practice our faith and live out our beliefs without fear of government punishment and retribution.
Hello, my name is Helen Alvarez. I'm a constitutional law professor at George Mason and the founder of Women Speak for Themselves. 41,000 American women all over the political spectrum. We are so happy the court has upheld religious freedom. We are especially happy that the court continues to allow American families, American businesses to hold on to their rights of conscience. This is a great day for the political left and the political right, because no matter what administration is in power, our religious freedom cannot be violated.
Good morning. My name is JeanMonahan. I'm president of the March for Life Education and Defense Fund. It has been a very long road to today. Many injustices along the way, beginning with the Mikulski Amendment in 2009. But today we celebrate the separation of powers in the United States of America. This case is about religious freedom. It's about preservation of the separation of church and state, but it's also about life. And that's why the March for Life is here. Life in its earliest form is vulnerable, it's beautiful, and it's worthy of protection. And that is why we're here, because this mandate included drugs and devices that destroyed life in its earliest stages. And human life is worthy of protection. That is why we are all here today.
Hi, I'm Allison Howard, Communications Director of Concerned Women for America, and we applaud the ruling of the Supreme Court today. Yeah! This was never about two families and two corporations. This was about protecting and defending the rights of all Americans to run their businesses according to their deeply held convictions. We all have stood with Hobby Lobby, the Green family, and Conestoga Woods, and we stand with the hundreds of other families. Let me just mention, by the way, that fully a third of the plaintiffs that are working in federal courts to stop this mandate, they were either run or operated by women. It is an insult to women to think that we would ever put free birth control and so-called free abortion-inducing drugs above freedom and religious liberty. What we saw here today is such a victory for what we continue to fight for with religious liberty and life. Thank you so much all for being here today.
I am Emily Hartman with the Becca Fund for Religious Liberty. I present to you Mallory Quigley, Senior Counsel for the Becca Fund for Religious Liberty.
Hi. I am Lori Wyndham, Senior Counsel with the Beckett Fund for Religious Liberty. I represent Hobby Lobby together with Paul Clement of Bancroft. Today's decision is a landmark decision for religious freedom. The Supreme Court recognized that American families do not lose their fundamental rights when they open a family business. Today's victory against this unjust mandate is important not just for families like the Greens, but also for religious ministries like the Little Sisters of the Poor, and for all Americans who seek to live according to their consciences. The court's decision today was narrow and careful. The court ruled that families do not lose their religious freedom when they open a family business. This decision does not grant religious protections to large, publicly traded corporations. The court kept the focus where it belongs, on families like the Greens and the Hans, and on everyday Americans who seek to live out their faith. Sorry, Casey.
My name is Casey Maddox. I am Senior Counsel with Alliance Defending Freedom, and we represent Conestoga Wood Specialties, one of the victorious plaintiffs in the case today.
Congratulations!
Thank you. To paraphrase President Obama, what we found out today from the Supreme Court is that religious liberty, it's the law. So, religious freedom has not been vanquished. We still live in a country where people are free to live out their faith, both in their churches and outside their churches. You cannot be forced into a government-created hole where you're allowed to practice your religious liberty. Instead, it gets to impact every part of your life, and that includes your family-owned business. This is a critical win for religious liberty around this country. We thank all of those who have stood with the Hahn family and the Green family in this battle for religious liberty, and we just celebrate today this win for the right that our founders fought and died for. Thank you.
I'm Charmaine Yoest. I'm the President and CEO of Americans United for Life, and we'd like to start today by saying thank you to the Green and Hahn families for leading the charge in defending our fundamental American right to religious freedom and freedom of conscience. On this July 4th, when we all celebrate with the fireworks going off, we will be celebrating a continuation of freedom of conscience in this country. The Supreme Court has decisively said that when you go into business in this country, you do not give up your American right to freedom of conscience. This is a tremendous win today for all Americans of any opinion, that their right to follow their own beliefs, their own value system, their core American values will be upheld in this country. And we celebrate today. We celebrate with the Hahns, we celebrate with the Greens, and we thank them for standing for freedom of conscience.
Good morning, my name is Cathy Russell. I'm a lawyer with the Family Research Council. This is a great day for religious freedom. This is one of the most significant religious freedom victories from the court in a decade, frankly. And what the court said is that basically the Obama administration overreached again. This is a heavy hand of government, and the government went too far. It's a good day for freedom and a good day for freedom of conscience.
Thank you. My name is McGuire, and I'm with the Becket Fund and the Catholic Association. Wow, talk about a rebuke to the absurd notion that standing up for the First Amendment amounts to a war on women. Women don't like seeing their employers bullied over their faith, and guess what? Employers also happen to be women. Women like the Bill of Rights, and if anything, it's been women driving opposition to this mandate from the get-go.
I'm Charlotte Hayes of the Independent Women's Forum, and this is a great day. This ruling is a victory for anyone who believes in limited government, religious freedom, and freedom of conscience. Now, the lawsuit has all along been wrongly depicted as a conflict between women and employers. It never was. It was a test to see whether the real question before the court was how far government can go to compel its citizens against their conscience. It was testing really whether or not we're still a country that believes in religious freedom. Apparently, today we are.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mallory Quigley. I'm the Communications Director for the Susan B. Anthony List. Our entire mission is to increase the number of pro-life women in federal and statewide office. And in March, I stood here with many of you ladies in solidarity with the Green and Hahn families in the freezing cold. Our message then was simple, that religious organizations cannot be forced to choose between their deeply held beliefs and following the law. Thanks be to God that the Supreme Court agreed with that message and made the right decision today.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Pratt and I am the spokeswoman with Young America's Foundation. How awesome was it today? So Young America's Foundation is an advocate for and a representative for young people, who are most of you here today. So we know from our polling that young people don't want an interventionist government, and they certainly don't want the massive government overreach that we're subject to under the Obama administration. The Supreme Court was asked to determine whether the Obama administration has once again overstepped its authority per the limits imposed on it through the Bipartisan Religious Freedom and Restoration Act. And guess what? They did. This is a case about the separation of powers. The court ruled per the Constitution and per the RFRA on behalf of young people and America's future, and upheld constitutional limits of power imposed on by the Obama administration by the United States Constitution. Our founders developed this framework to protect our freedom, and we stand here today and applaud the Supreme Court for protecting this framework and freedom's future.